Okay, so the next entry number 13, is called The Shadow over Ravensmouth. This map does very well at building up a kind of environment, a feeling in a different location. So it's very similar to Ravenholm, of course. It's kind of like an island. You've sailed here. It's clear you've sailed here. You're on a pier, and you can talk to these citizens who act scared. Obviously, they act like they did in City 17, but that's fine. You know, really reusing the voice lines is all right. And it kind of builds up this feeling of, well, what's going on here? You can just walk around, you can have a look at the buildings. There's some strange things going on. And you can look about and all that. So yeah. Initially, first off the bat, it's like really, really good, and then you can look at this mansion, and first thing I thought is, I want to go in there, I want to know what's in there, what's in that mansion. All will be revealed in a moment, but you get up to this area, and this happens.
Hey, you! In here! It isn't safe here. I'll give you some supplies to keep you going, and you really gotta go.
So then you take the supplies.
This doesn't look good. They're definitely coming in here.
And this is kind of building up suspense. It's like, what's happening? You know, you're hiding away. So then you can run onto the roof. And then it's kind of like a running section where they're shooting at you, they're trying to crowbar you, and you, the player, have to run away. So it's a very smart map. Things didn't go too well for the player just there. You kind of see what happened. You can make this guy get killed by a head crab. He's not doing a good job, so we'll just go. We'll just go. And we can actually see that, yeah, the church at the start. Watch them doing some sort of ritual. Or this Vortigaunt. And it makes you ask a whole lot of questions like, well, what's actually going on there? Why is that Vortigaunt sacrificing humans to head crabs? Also, now there's zombies about, which I don't quite get, but you can... The path is still always very clear on where you've got to go, what you've got to do. Instead, you could just outrun. So it's giving you more weapons to play with. And the idea is here, I think, that you're making it back to the boat, basically. So that's your initial goal. I'm just going to use whatever ammo. I don't think we actually have a proper thing to hit it with. Anyway, we're still being pursued. From somewhere. Ah, he's up there. So at this point it's just like constant downtime, which isn't the best. It especially gets annoying without any melee weapon. That is by the by. And incidentally, we can drop down here and try and make it onto our boat, which is now sinking in the ocean. Okay, there we go. No problems. And yeah, I think that was just a small thing. A place for you to find things. So now we're making it into the places that we've been able to look at. And this leads to an underground tunnel. So again, it's all very mysterious. You don't quite know what's happening. And then we come out here at the mansion. Now remember I mentioned, you know, what was going on. So you can actually look inside at this guy. And he's running into there. So you know to kind of follow him. But you need to find a way in. Like, the front doors won't open. So it encourages searching this bit. And it's not difficult. It's just right round the side. Here there's, I think, a zombie. Or is that another map I'm thinking of? Or another part of this map? Possibly. But then it introduces these things here. And at the moment you don't know what they are. Until you head through here. And it actually shows you. So it's very clear what you've got to do. At least it should be. That's, you know, it does take you to kind of think about it, but it's only kind of. Slightly, I mean. And it's something that we've not really seen very much. Stuff like this. And it's just something else. Like a new thing that's been introduced. And this helps open up the door. And as soon as you see this, it kind of, you know, like excitement levels go up by 100% because you have no idea what it is. It's unknown. That's the thing. It's unknown. It's never been seen before. You can see the Vortigaunt working his magic, and you can see this crazy thing and these massive eyeballs, which are, you know, scary. Also, we now get a chance to put what we've learned into practice. So if you saw on the top of these things, you can get this thing to swing. So this thing actually tries to mess with you. So I think if you stand here, he should attack it, perhaps. Maybe if we move further down. There we go. There we go. This thing falls. Oh, that was close. And then we've got to do the same again. Actually... yeah, that thing, like, rises. Oh, he got me. How on earth are we supposed to get that? Oh, were we supposed to, like... oh, he's... but yeah, like the IG becomes really obvious really quickly. And then this one goes far over here. And it's intense stuff, because even though the thing moves at like... oh, it doesn't seem to want to go. The thing moves like really slowly. It still gives you enough time to kind of be concerned about it. There we go, and he almost got me. So there we go, we've done all three of them. We see this guy getting wrecked, basically. And then we get plunged into the abyss of water, and yeah. At this point it's actually confusing for the player, because I'm like scrambling about, trying to find the way out, getting frustrated. That was the point. The point is that you die. And that the G-Man locks you away. And that's it. So actually it was a very, very, very well put together map with good atmosphere, a good escape section, and the narrative fitted well, especially with like the boat sinking. And then the whole, you found out that the Vortigaunt was evil and kept some monster in his basement or something like that. The mechanic where you turn the cross things was really cool and really well set up. Overall, I think that one could be a winner. I'm not sure. It is definitely top 3, but I'm not sure if it could win. Very possibly. Next map is called ActiveTransport. Okay, this one's a weird one. Now, I didn't understand the first time I played it, and I don't know if I'll understand it the second time. So I don't know if that radio did anything. What was that thing? I don't know. So each time you do something significant, it then takes you back and gives you the right tools to deal with it, which is an odd concept. Like, I don't know why that's the case. Every time it says freedom, you go around and you know, something happens. So I can't remember what it was this time.
Hazardous radiation levels detected.
Yeah, it then goes and gives you the gravity gun, some more weaponry. I know I'm spamming on this side. Do that. It's a habit. And this thing's already been destroyed, but then it also introduces new enemies, which you'd think it wouldn't if it was to be consistent. So anyway, we can keep going through this area. We now get to the area that we got to again. And we can move this thing out of the way now. Actually, I think we could just like go like that. So it's not quite clear what the goal is now. It just all feels a bit random, and that's the thing. If there could be some kind of common ground or some understanding that the player could find, that would make it 10 times better. And it says freedom. Obviously, push that. It's not really freedom at all. It's a trap. Yeah, that's right. Why is it not opening? I'm going to keep spamming it. Anyway. Yeah, I don't know what this thing was. I can't actually remember what I used it for. But we're going to take it with us. And again, it like, you know, gives you more enemies to fight against, which all seems a bit pointless. Again, we've done all this, you know. Sounds like that door was trying to be opened, but we're just going to skip past it. And then this bit, we're just going to run past. There's zombies that you can destroy. We are just going to go past it. And then, yeah. It says run, so that's exactly what you do. Or hop, or whatever you want to call it. There's this guy here, he doesn't seem to want to shoot us. He will in a moment. Alright, whatever floats your boat. And then we push or flick the switch. Oh yeah, we've got full. Oh, we shot him. I don't know what was up with him. Ah, there's another one here. So yeah, the defense section is alright. I mean, they're coming from 2 areas. It's better than 1, but it still seems very cramped and not very challenging. So I don't get the point in this. The thing's coming closer. Are we supposed to play chicken? Yeah, I don't get any of that. The whole map, the fact it kept making you have to go back to the start again was kind of tedious and annoying. And I still don't know why it did that or what the point in it was. So I'm not sure about that one. That was ActiveTransport. This one is Wake Up and Run. So it starts with you waking up and running. I just can't remember. Yeah, I do remember now. It's literally just another chase. You know, chase map. Which isn't a bad thing. So here we see that we need a cog for this. Or whatever you want to call it. So we've got to go round and then... There's an easy way of dodging past the... You know, there's actually an easy way of dodging past all of these things. But you kind of have to take a risk. You kind of have to risk it for a biscuit. So you can bring it back here. Actually, do we have anything else? Because we're going to waste all our ammo. I guess if we had the gravity gun, which we don't. Yeah, I guess that's all fine. And the lever eventually gets us across. And then we start getting followed again, which is a bit strange. So this bit, you can literally just kind of get past it. Like so. I don't know if that's what you're supposed to do. But it's definitely the easiest way. And then there's the hunter who breaks the window and makes you jump. Which I think is pretty cool. It's just one window. And that's it. It was a pretty simple map. There wasn't a lot to, you know, partake in. It was a good running section at the start, bit short, and then you had to you know try and get across and get past. There was a few obstacles there, so it wasn't just running and shooting or running and hitting Combine with a crowbar. So it was all right. That's what I'd say. It's okay. That would be my kind of recommendation image or whatever you call it. Okay, we're on entry number 16, and this one is called The Crossing. Okay, so this map is fairly long, fairly lengthy, and it has quite a lot to it. To start off, the point in these zombies is to kind of show that there's like one of these turrets over there. Okay, they managed to get the thing. We have to get rid of them. It also gives us these like razor blades to deal with these guys. And this is where it starts going for us. Now, there's also Combine soldiers there. And the best thing to do here is to run. And then to run back. Okay, I'm not sure about that. The door being open, or looks like it's open, and then you not being able to open it. But this combat seems too messy. I think focused combat would be much better, because this isn't really making, you know, more enemies doesn't make combat better. That's one thing a lot of people, you know, that's a common misconception, that more enemies means better combat and harder combat, but that is not the case. So now we're on the underside of the bridge. It looks quite cool. There's like a train that we will be going over. It's similar to, you know, that part in Half-Life 2 when you had to cross the bridge. Now, I'm just trying to think of what way did we have to go. Okay, so we're going to go round. And try and get onto the middle one. There we go. So we can now open that door. And if we can get over here. This leads down to here. Just clear all that out. So most of it's trying to navigate this bridge, which is alright. I mean, it does go on slightly longer than it should, because it does feel like an awful lot of downtime and with not a lot happening. But it's constantly keeping you on edge and constantly thinking, which is good. Okay, so now we're going to try and make it over there now. It's fairly clear what's going to happen here. So we're just going to go for it. There we go. No harm done. Okay, a bit of harm done. Oh yeah, that's right. That was one of these obvious puzzles that once you actually look about you can find it. So it's possible to punt these guys away, although it's super difficult when there's combine all around you. Alright, so here you can hide behind this thing. Kind of. We're on 5 health, that is fine. Okay, that's not what I intended. I intended for these boxes to break, so I could get the health quickly when I ran over, because I knew these guys were going to spawn. But instead, I got these guys behind here. Yeah, it was these guys over here. They were hiding behind here. So when you walked in here, you had to be careful of all angles, and it was quite a difficult fight. So it's good that we took out these 2 turrets first, and then we also took out the combine. Okay, we're now on the second map. This map is, you know, got a lot of different things in it, but you can basically use their gun against them, and you also see that thing there. I'll just get some of this. Okay, you might need to quite drive up for that. Okay, out the way, cars. That was a good red herring. It made you think that you were going to get away that way, but as a matter of fact, you weren't. Now, we can actually just jump over there, and we'll just try and destroy these guys, and we'll think about how we're going to get our car back soon. So it's basically clear what we're trying to do. If you've seen the force field, you can say that you can see that you're trying to move it. You're trying to take it down, basically. That's what I'm trying to say. And then this removes this force field, so we can now go back and get the car. I think. Which is a good thing, and the fact of the matter is it's not just a small driving section. It is, fairly short, but it's, in these Ville maps it's not bad. And then I think we need to do it again. Yeah. So now we're going to get chased by that guy over there. And then he skids off the path, and we know to follow him. We don't actually, that doesn't make any sense because he died falling off there. And at this point, it's just a drive and hope you survive thing. I mean, you see the rebels, so you know to drive in. You know to drive in here. Ah, you know what? Stuff this. So this is the next chapter called On Board. You're playing chess with a gnome, allegedly. Now this bit was one of the most annoying bits, I guess. You can walk to the front of the train. And then everyone dies in there. As per usual. Now this is so fiddly because you can barely see. And I initially thought it's because I had like my render distance turned down. But it's not, it's just, you just can't see. I can't even get at that one. And you don't know if you're hitting him or not. It's horrible. There we go. So you kill one, right? So you think, great, I've done it. And right enough. That is good. But then you've got another one down here too. You've got another one down here to deal with. And they're like taking a lot of health off you. Again, I don't know if I'm getting him at all. So yeah, this section's supposed to be fun and all that, but it's just not. Okay, there's one down, but then I guess they'll keep coming. I think I did actually cheat last time on this. You know, just went into God mode because I had no idea if I was hitting them or not. So at this point, I think some guy's supposed to be through here. Yeah, there he is. Oh, and then it gets a bit more exciting because you've actually got stuff to dodge and combine soldiers to fight. Gotta keep going. It's slightly laggy. It's all a bit of a mess, really. It's still quite enjoyable. I do like the concept of being on two trains. You know, travelling, you know, jump or on a train and then get on another one. We'll just get as much of this as we possibly can. And then they just for some reason spawn in, which is a bit weird. Oh, sorry, yeah. Now this bit, you can barely see anything, and I know it's to like optimize it and to make it not look so linear, but it's still really difficult. So they've kind of sacrificed gameplay for it. And for what? You've got to like now jump onto there like that. It's super difficult. Especially when there's one of these posts, so I'm just gonna have to like save it, jump. Did we get it? I don't think we did. There we go, and for some reason this opens then. And then that happens. Yeah, it was a good concept for a map, and there were a lot of good things in there, but it just got really tedious after a while. You know, you didn't feel like you were achieving anything. Otherwise, you know, it was definitely up there with the better entries, but not the best. Okay, we're now on the last entry, and this entry is called A Hero Once More Part 2.
Gordon Freeman, those combine mortars are becoming rather a nuisance. Our boats are unable to pass through until you take them out. Would you mind getting up there and giving them a damn good thrashing? Confounded mortar! Tish and fish! That boat was a thoroughly good egg!
So we're being introduced at the moment to you know, the mortar. It's coming up later on over there. We will get to it at some point. I don't know what. Alright. So this is A Hero Once More Part 2. I wonder how good the stealth is on this. Fairly good. In fact, that was better than most. Until we should reach it to like the top of the stairs, right? He still doesn't notice us. That's good. What happens if we stand up? What happens if we go up there? So yeah, this is like super similar to the bridge in Half-Life 2 on the coast section. We'll just take him out now. So yeah, you can begin to move over here, and there's, you know, barrels there for you to shoot, which is good. We'll just toss that over there. And there's also stuff to find, so it's gradually moving you across the bridge. I presume, obviously, the bridge must be like Bridgeville in terms of the theme. You know, out of the 3 themes they had to pick, one of them is bridge, quite clearly. Alright, and then we can go back and get this guy's weapon that we killed earlier.
Managed to tune this radio into your HEV suit's frequency. Lucky you!
Alright, so I guess that's just a platform for going up and kind of viewing your surroundings. But it's clear that you've got to head this way. Now, I've said this quite a lot recently in my videos. Barnacles are placed solely for to give the player something else to think about, because if they weren't there, I could easily move along, you know, these walkways without any worry whatsoever. The only worry is that I'll fall off. But they kind of make the player think, you know, oh, I need to deal with them as well. So, oh, that was almost. Of course, that's just shock factor put in there for to make it more interesting. And right enough it does, so... I'm not sure about these combined soldiers being placed there. I mean, I guess it was for, you know, for distance, although that back there would be fine, even in those windows there. Right. I'm gonna head across here, because there's goodies and stuff. It doesn't really matter about these guys. Anything around here? Nope. So we can see part of the area we're going to go to. This place is kind of like a, you know, square area. got a barrel there to assist the player. I could have tossed a grenade if I had one. Yet there's many things I could have done there. It's just giving the player as many options as possible to make it more interesting. Oh, and you can see at this point, you very clearly need to get in there and disable that. You know, knock the ball out. And then this is where the thought process of how the player is going to do it begins. Because they can look, but they can't get to there. So by like well, there's always one who doesn't fall over. Yeah, by like having a look, you can see up there, there's a button. So yeah, there's a button you need to reach there, and now we can access the ball. So we've disabled that. So it's all just about piecing together the puzzle. And by pushing that thing then opens.
Should be coming up now. You need to neutralize the operator.
So this is kind of introducing you to these new mortars. Basically the thing that attacked you at the start. So it kind of gave you a taste of what they could do. Oh, there's a guy up there. I think there's also... yeah, there's guys in here. So this is something that is done a fair bit, where you fight Combine soldiers at these, you know, the machine guns, and then you have to basically go and use them yourself against the Combine. So you're kind of switching positions. Anyway, you can look through this and have a little glance at the boat that is now sinking underwater. Also, rope heading up there kind of gives you a hint that you should be pushing on, basically, up to where this guy was.
I say, Gordon, put that mortar to good use. That is one down and one to go.
So if yeah, back up there, you can actually kind of review, you know, your situation. Actually, I'll head back up there now. Yeah, you can have a look, and you can, you know, you can clearly see that there's no way that you're getting past there. So I think, if I can remember, what you have to do is you have to use this to anything here, no, to take down the fence. Maybe they open it. I can't quite remember. It was a wee while ago I did this, but yeah. So you can. Was it? Yeah, it could have been. Yeah, that was it. Sorry, my mistake. I forgot completely how to do it, but you're kind of using it to help you progress. So it's mandatory that you have to use it, and that's a really good way of just like ensuring that the mechanics are fully utilized and you can learn them easily. And it wasn't that difficult, and we'll be using them like a mortar much later for other stuff. We will get to that. But yeah, there's stuff to look at. You know, kind of prison in there. You can get there now. This opens up. This opens up partially, but it's not at the level. I'm just trying to think what to do. Okay, so this bit wasn't very obvious. These things blend in very well. It does like have 4 red lights, but they could easily be, you know, just part of the thing. But you've got to unattach the lift, which again is something that you don't see very often. It's quite a unique idea, just generally. And then I think we'll just quickly head through this section. I think it's over here. See, this guy was like at a console. He wasn't just like facing the player. So there's nothing around there, and we've got another lift which we can open, but to get the good stuff we have to jump over it. Got that, don't need that. And he was right there. Okay, we'll take him down. We'll lose a bit of health, but there's some over here. So there's plenty of places to kind of hide and cower, if you so wish. And we'll just top up on this. Right, there we go. And that can open up the force field. And again, it makes it obvious what it's doing. It's not like too difficult to understand. But yeah, I forgot about this. It's always good to include stuff like this. There was also another map in this ville which I forgot about. I don't actually know if that's doing any damage. But we're slowly but surely progressing, so we can now get in here and see all of the dead people. It's very, yeah, it's quite gruesome in here. Anyway, I think at this point, I'm just trying to think what happens next. Yeah, these guys land, and we've got to kind of use the mortar to oh, I think we killed the guy. We can also hear a gunship. Which, I'm not sure if we could, try and get him with this. Probably not. Yeah, he has completely destroyed it. I actually didn't realise because I think last time I backed out of that very quickly. But then we've got kind of like this gunship fight. Fairly easy. Nothing too difficult.
Well done, old boy. Another decisive victory I must include in my memoirs. Well now, hurry on back, and we'll deploy on the next boat.
Alright, so that was a Hero Once More Part 2. It was a fairly solid map. Could easily win, especially with the mortar kind of gameplay. I would have liked to have seen more done with that, but obviously it was a limited time. But otherwise, the combat was fine, kept you entertained. So there we go, that is FusionVille. The final challenge of the Hammer Cup. Next year, I think it's turning into the Lambda Cup. So hopefully, if you haven't entered any of these competitions, you will hopefully feel inspired to enter some of them and have me play your maps and criticise them, no doubt. And hopefully, we can all get better at level design together and hopefully produce some really, really good maps in 2018. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you later.